This is Jacob, my son Joe, my son Dre, and my daughter Jax. We are born and raised here in the island of Maui, and we pretty much lived in Lahaina our whole lives, born and raised here. I work at Lahaina Luna High School in the administration office. Jacob works for the County of Maui. And my children are in the Hawaiian immersion program here, and my two boys go to Princess Nahi'ene'ena o Kaiopuni, and my daughter is in Punaleo o Lahaina. Okay.
You want to talk about what your experience was the day of the Lahaina fire?
Our experience, it was crazy. It was just it was pretty much unknown. Like, we didn't know that this was going to happen to us. Everything happened so fast. There's actually two fires that day. The first fire was early in the morning of Lahaina Luna Road. Lucky things, we packed a bag and my children's iPads, and that's all what we packed. And then we had the second fire, and it was worse than the first fire. We were napping that day, taking a nap. We were all home from school and from work, and my daughter came to wake us up because Jacob had mentioned that there is a big fire, so we have to, evacuate as soon as we can. So we were rushing that day, but lucky thing we had our bags packed.
No. Yeah. So we was taking a nap, and I woke up to clean up a lot of mess that was flying around and stuff. And but I knew that there was like this little smoke. There was like a small barbecue. Then in 20 minutes it was like a big cloud, dark, and everybody was like outside running and trying to drive away. And everybody was like, "Oh, evacuate!" So went in the house, woke up my family, and I told them to leave, and so they left, and I told them to stay back. I told them I want to stay back for a little bit, try to do what I can do, and they're like yelling. Job, my son, was like yelling for me, like, "Hurry up, Dad!" I'm like, "Just leave me."
Like, I kept telling Job to call Jacob so we could leave together, but Jacob just told us to pack up, and just leave. And he told us to meet him at his base yard, which is located in Honokauai, right across Times Supermarket. So we ended up leaving. I took the kids and Jacob stayed back. I just remember seeing some of my family members drive down our road, and my sister-in-law helped me. She allowed me to get out of my driveway just so I could get out. And I just remember just being at a dead spot. We just weren't moving. We just stood still. And it was hard because I think our road was the only exit, everybody could just get out from. And it was just scary. And as we're just, not moving at a dead stop, my car just keeps swaying back and forth just because the wind was so strong. And the way how we got out was we had to go down past Foodland Farms, and we had to get out from the Cannery Mall. We had to drive through the Cannery Mall parking lot, go down by Mala, and go out from Canoe Restaurant. So it was a struggle to get out because traffic was really bad. And I remember Jacob called me when we were at the Cannery Mall, and I remember he asked where we were, and I told him we're stuck. We're here in the Cannery Mall parking lot and we're not moving. But he left the house after us, and he made it to his base yard before us. So he had access going through the dirt roadway, which is behind Foodland Farms.
All the Hawking roads, the old Hawking roads, went through there. So I beat them to my base yard, and then when I got to my base yard, I just was like, oh, how come they're not here? Like they left like half an hour already. So I was all worried, like, oh, I gotta go find my family. So I went back in there and found them stuck in traffic. And I was so worried about where they were and why they wasn't there yet.
Like, instead of me driving on the highway after we got out from where the Canoe House restaurant was, instead of me going on the highway, I just went straight up to Wahikuli Way, just because I was scared like we were gonna get stuck in traffic. And so we went through Hawaiian Homes area, and all I see is just this guy on a bike, and it was Jacob. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, he saved his bike, and like, he found us. And I asked him if the dogs are okay. And all he did was shake his head no. I asked him about our house, and he said it's all gone. Everything is gone. And after that, we just, like, his coworkers' families that stayed with us too, and that night it just sucked because Jacob had to leave us and he had to work that night. He pretty much worked ever since the fire, and he hasn't really gotten a break. But we lost everything we worked so hard for. Everything's gone. My dogs are gone. And we only lived in that home for like 3 years. And it was a brand new home, and we're like first time homeowners, and it's just really hard for us right now. And like, my boys, they're like motocross riders, and all their bikes are gone, and everything that's just valuable to us is just ashes.